So this video is going to go through a student essay and grade it using the rubric. And this particular essay, some of the main things that this essay needs is examples, a clear thesis, and some creativity in the conclusion. So let's get in it. So this essay has a lot of good things going for it. I like how it gives a title. Um, Grammar's pretty good. Vocabulary's pretty good. But I'm not going to focus on those things. Like I said, I'm going to try to stick to those three things that I mentioned. So in this intro, pretty good hook, using other people's opinion, pretty good. When we get down to the thesis, which is a two-sentence thesis, rap and hip hop artists use their music to share their positive cultural values with others. Rap and hip hop artists can sing about nonviolence, give some advice and responsibility, encourage the fans to have a healthy lifestyle. So there's just a couple little small tweaks that could be made to make this more clear. So first of all, when it starts here, hip hop artists use their music. When using this present simple, it kind of makes it seem as if, are all of them doing that? Are they all using their music for positive things, or some of them using it? So we're gonna have to like clarify that. That'll make it a little bit more clear. And it's kind of the same thing in the second sentence when you say rap and hip hop artists can sing about nonviolence. Um, that kind of that is what is missing from this first sentence. Um, so maybe combining these two sentences and just saying such as it can have cultural values such as nonviolence, giving advice and responsibility. So let's look at the next, which is needing examples, and this is a really important one because body paragraphs really do need this, and you'll see what I mean. And you see what I mean now because the difference between a body paragraph that has clear examples and one that doesn't, you'll see here. So pretty good topic sentence, and then this paragraph goes into makes his first point about children dealing with bullying and things, and having problems, and how these artists are encourage their fans with lyrics against violence and bullying to stop the violence and defend themselves. So it's good. We got a problem, and we got how these artists address that problem. But the thing we're missing here is an example. So what should be right here would be like, for example, um, let's say, for example, I can't think of any artists right now that deal with bullying, but for example, Tupac Shakur made a song about Dear Mama, and in that song he's talking about mistakes he's made, um, violence that he's made, and how he's sorry to his mom. And that could be an example of parents and talking about parents to their mom. And what's the key thing here is that it's good to have points, small points in your essay, but you got to support those points with hard evidence, right? So explaining, giving examples of how that point is carried out. And then it says some listeners can be encouraged to stop violence they witness in the street. Um, and then it goes, so that's the second point. And then a third point, children encourage respect all different genders. So again, great point, but where's the evidence? Where's the example? So for instance, um, uh, there's any kind of song, be specific. So for example, I'm trying to think of one. For example, back in the 80s, the artist Heavy D, he had a song called Self Destruction where he talks about gun violence in that song. So, taking some of the lyrics, direct lyrics out of that song and saying like, for example, Heavy D said "Boom, boom, boom," which was about, trying to get people to stop being violent through using guns. That would be a great way to give an example. And the same with every point. So again, great job making points in here, but we need the clear examples. Like if you're telling us they do it in their lyrics, show us, right? So that's a good way to think about examples. Examples show. Points tell, examples show. And finally, the conclusion. All right, so in the conclusion, again, very good job restating the thesis. And what sentence stood out to me is the importance of responsibility recommend fans to take care of their health and life. And I like how you help the point by saying should feel responsibility because their fame deliver a powerful ethical message, basically saying that they have a lot of responsibility because of how many people know them. I think that's a great point, but the only problem is like show us how. Like think about one of the problems that the musicians face. Like they make a song about nonviolence and being good, and nobody buys it, or it's not as famous as other songs, and it's not. So, what advice would you give to these musicians to encourage them to do this. Um, for example, maybe all artists have to be responsible to make at least one ethical message song on every CD, or think about a way how they're going to do this, right? To try to figure out a problem related to this topic, and then give some advice on how they can do it. And pretty good.